Welcome to today's news discussion. I'm Sarah, and I'm here with Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. Let's dive into the stories we have today.
First up, we have a story about Nick Reiner, the son of filmmaker Rob Reiner and actress Michelle Reiner. Nick is facing charges for the murder of his parents and is now seeking access to a trust fund they established for him to help pay for his defense.
That's quite a dramatic situation. How much is the trust fund worth, according to the reporting?
The articles mention that Nick Reiner is seeking more than $1.5 million from the trust fund.
That's a significant amount. What does the reporting say about the status of the trust fund payments so far?
The context suggests that Nick Reiner believes he is still owed money from the trust fund, which he wants to use for his legal defense.
So, what's the legal context here? Is Nick Reiner presumed innocent until proven guilty? And does that affect his access to the trust fund?
According to the articles, Nick Reiner has pleaded not guilty to the murders. The reporting doesn't go into the specifics of how his plea affects his access to the trust fund, but it does indicate that he's seeking the funds for his defense.
That raises an interesting question. Can someone accused of murdering their parents still benefit from their estate or trusts they established?
The articles don't provide a clear answer on that. It seems like a complex legal issue that might depend on various factors, including the specific terms of the trust and relevant state laws.
Right. And what's the next step in this case, according to the reporting?
The articles don't specify the next legal steps, but they do indicate that Nick Reiner's legal team is actively seeking the trust fund money for his defense.
Let's switch gears to a different story. New York has implemented a new law requiring advertisements featuring AI-generated people to be labeled as synthetic performers.
That's an interesting development, especially with the increasing use of AI in media. What are the implications of this law, according to the reporting?
From what I gather, the law aims to increase transparency in advertising by requiring clear disclosure when AI-generated people are used instead of real actors.
That makes sense. The articles mention that advertisements failing to disclose synthetic performers will now face penalties. Do we know what kind of penalties?
The reporting doesn't go into the specifics of the penalties, but it does indicate that there will be consequences for non-compliance.
So how might this law affect the advertising industry, particularly those using AI-generated content?
It's likely to make advertisers more cautious and transparent about their use of AI. They'll need to clearly label AI-generated content to avoid penalties.
That's a good point. The law could potentially influence how AI-generated content is used in advertising across other states or even nationally.
Exactly. If New York sets this precedent, other states might follow with similar regulations.
Let's explore that a bit more. What are the potential broader implications of requiring labels for AI-generated content in advertising?
Well, it could lead to a broader conversation about transparency in media and the use of AI-generated content beyond just advertising.
That's a good point. It might also raise questions about how to regulate AI-generated content in other areas, like entertainment or news.
Absolutely. The line between real and synthetic content is becoming increasingly blurred, and regulations like this could help clarify that for consumers.
As we wrap up today's discussion, it's clear that both stories we covered have significant implications, one for the legal system and family trusts, and the other for the advertising industry and transparency in media.
Indeed. Both stories highlight complex issues that are becoming increasingly relevant in today's world.
That's all for today's episode. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye. See you later.